The basic premise of Fate Zero is it takes place 10 years before the events of Fate Stay Night, and it basically follows all of these sorcerers competing in the 4th Holy Grail War. They're basically duking it out so they can obtain the Holy Grail to grant them a wish that they desire. And pretty much blood, mayhem, and betrayal ensues. Now I heard a lot of great things about Fate Zero that got me really interested to go check it out for myself, and I was asked to watch this anime by one of my subscribers, Cal Oji-san, and one of my good friends, Roberto, who was the president of Anime Spot and was on my radio show very frequently. And I gotta say, the best way I can explain this anime is that this anime is like a really intense game of chess. It's really slow to start off first, you know, like your pawns moving slowly but surely, but when the action comes, man does it come, and it gets really intense. If I were to describe this anime in one word, I would say gripping, because I was intrigued and interested throughout the entire anime. I kept my eyes glued to the screen. Whether it be an intense action scene or a really compelling dialogue scene, it just pulls you in and you're interested throughout the entire anime to see what's gonna happen, who's gonna come off victorious, and who's gonna die. All the action scenes in this anime were compelling and intense. The first action scene was actually my favorite action scene in this anime because you have all of the kings there and they are just duking it out, and you're trying to see who's gonna come off on top, who's gonna get away, who's gonna die. It was just compelling. And another thing that I really appreciated from the anime was that the servants, when they fought, they had such respect for each other. They didn't just like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit, I'm gonna destroy him. No, they actually wanted an honorable fight. They wanted to actually fight on the same level. They have this degree of honor to them, and I actually like seeing that in the anime. Yes, they were all a bit arrogant and they all thought they could kick each other's ass, but there was this level of respect when they fought each other that I just was like, that's awesome. And since we're talking about the servants, let's talk about the characters. I thought the characters, they were all interesting for what they need to be. Yeah, some of them weren't as developed as I wanted them to be. I would like to know their backstories, but for the most part, I liked most of the characters. Despite some of them being very despicable people, just heinous and cruel. Our main villain of the anime, Kotomo Kiri, does not really become our main villain until like about 3/4 into the anime, and that's when he becomes all dastardly and crazy. And I actually like seeing his descension into evil, because at first he was kind of loyal. He didn't really have much emotion. He didn't really care much about anything. He just followed commands and did all this stuff. But then when he started thinking for himself and he started drinking the cup of envy and malice and stuff, then his character became more interesting. Probably the coolest servant and most powerful servant in this anime is Gilgamesh. He is a pompous asshole, but he is a great villain, and he keeps the story very interesting. He plays a very crucial part in Fate Zero and later on Fate Stay Night, so you know that this guy is gonna be something. But probably my favorite character or characters is King Arthur and Kiritsugu. I mean, they were badass, they had ambition, they just made really entertaining characters. And one thing that I noticed about all the characters in this anime, they are all very damaged. And this is not an anime that you watch to feel happy, because it's just really depressing and very frightening. Hell, there's this whole subplot dealing with this mass murderer who summons a child rapist, and they go around kidnapping kids and killing kids. It's really depressing and very tragic and dark. I wanted them to die the minute that I saw them. They were despicable. But the best bond and relationship in this entire anime is between Alexander the Great and his master, whose name kind of escapes me right now, but they had such camaraderie. They had such great chemistry. They worked very well together, and the final scene between them I thought was really touching. It kind of made me tear up a bit. Alexander the Great is just freaking awesome. If I ever became a sorcerer and I summoned a servant, I really hope to God that it is Alexander the Great. He was excellent. And finally, the writing, story, and theme of the anime I thought was handled excellently. I mean, the story is very interesting. You got all these people with one goal to get the Holy Grail, each one of them having their own agenda and their own desire for what wish they want. The most tragic of all the stories is the one dealing with the master of the Berserker. His story was so sad and depressing, and it really ends very sadly as well. I just really felt bad for that guy. The character that we follow the most in this anime, which I guess he's the main character, is Kiritsugu, who's trying to obtain the Holy Grail so that he can get rid of all the conflict in the world so that everyone can be safe. And I really love the theme of like things aren't really what they seem with the Holy Grail. Like nearing the end, not to give anything away, but the Holy Grail kind of shows Kiritsugu what would happen if his wish was fulfilled and things don't turn out the way that he expected it to turn out. And I kind of sort of related to his character in that sense. I mean, if I could get rid of all the evils in the world, I would do my best. I would try my hardest to do it. But in doing so, that might cause even more trouble for the world. The world needs a balance of good and evil. If you take away the evil, it throws everything into disarray. Now, I didn't really have any big problems with this anime. I had a few things that really irritated me here and there. Like, there are a lot of just slow moments in this anime where nothing really happens. Characters are just either sitting around and talking, which is fine. I mean, the conversations there were interesting, but I really just wanted to see more action and more things happening. I mean, yeah, there's character development, characters' relationships are growing and stuff, but it was really slow. Like, it was a slow build. But the slow moments slowly built up to something epic in the long run, so I'm okay with that. And the last annoyance that I had about this anime was the way that it ended was a bit underwhelming for me. And I know what you're all about to say. You're probably typing it right now. Tony, Fate Zero is the prequel to Fate Stay Night. The story continues. I understand that. But had I not known that Fate Stay Night existed, I would have felt like, oh, there's more to the story, I want to see more, and it just left me with more questions. Now I'm gonna go see Fate Stay Night and continue the story where it left off. Overall, I had a blast watching Fate Zero. It had intense action scenes, compelling story, and interesting characters. And that's why I'm gonna give this anime a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's one hell of an anime, and I honestly think that you guys should go check it out. But anyway, what did you guys think of this anime? Did you like it a lot? Did you find it boring and you really didn't care about it? And let me know, what is the coolest action scene you've ever seen in an anime? Comment below, let me know.